Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Multiverse Entertainment Podcast. My name is James. Thank you for tuning in today. And today we got a good one for you. Episode 14. Can you believe it? Episode 14. And we are ready to go. And we're diving back into the TV genre. And something very classical, I should say. Classic British comedy on this episode today. Well, we're talking about the ever wonderful, charming sitcom known as Open All Hours. This is one of my favorite comedy or sitcoms that I used to watch as not only as a kid but as like a teenager as well, into my early 20s and even now to these days. And it's just charming. Not a long series of episodes, but nonetheless very, very classic. So we're going to talk about today. Obviously, going to be doing it on my own. Looking forward to it. I don't suspect this episode to be very long today, so it'll be a really fun show to talk about. Before we get on to it, I'd just like to say to everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Do appreciate you guys. The YouTube channel is still down. Well, I've got it back up again. It's just I need to verify it so I can put all the videos on, which is a pain in the ass. Nonetheless, you're hearing this on audio form at the moment on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. We keep growing, we keep enjoying. Last week I made a fucking boo-boo. I thought I had everything loaded up, ready to go. I didn't upload the speed episode until last Wednesday by mistake. So if you're expecting a show on Monday, my bad. I'm a stupid fucking Welshman. I didn't put it on. So it's up now, ready to go. Enjoyed last week's episode, which is speed. Or a bit of news as well. We haven't done a new segment on the intro of this podcast before, and I thought I would share it now. Lots of people are excited for the new Deadpool 3 to come out. Obviously, Deadpool starring Ryan Reynolds, and the main probably pull towards this movie are one of the two mains. First of all, it's the first Deadpool movie under the MCU banner, which I'm really looking forward to. Huge Marvel and MCU fan. Second, as well, it's going to be a rated R film as well. Ryan Reynolds said to them, it's got to be a rated R, don't change anything, which they haven't, so it's just going to be awesome. And obviously, the third big one is Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine. So I'm looking forward to that. And earlier on today, on Instagram, and probably all forms of media, I saw this on IGN first, and then GameSpot put it up as well. Jennifer Garner is reprising her role as Elektra for Deadpool 3. And I saw this news earlier today, and I was like, fuck yeah. This character is amazing, and it's really, really awesome that the MCU and Kevin Feige are bringing these legacy characters from previous Marvel movies back into first light for the MCU. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Yeah, that's a bit of news of that today. So I hope you enjoyed that news. Hope you're excited even more, as I am, for the Deadpool 3 movie to come out, which is being brought forward 6 months. So I think we're getting it this time next year, I think. So it's going to be really, really good fun. I'm really, really looking forward to it. As of you guys, as am I for this episode, which is a brilliant segue. We're now going to dive into the episode, which is all about Open All Hours, which first released, first released in the UK on BBC 2, originally, on March 23rd, 1976. Wow, a long time ago. Enjoy it. Let's go.
Granville, fetch your cloth. The swallows are leaving, Granville. And they're leaving it all over our window. Get it off.
I love this show. I've probably said this about every single thing that I've talked about, and I don't think I've really talked about things that I don't like, but they are coming. They are coming soon. Really, really are. Open all hours. I mean, whew, this is probably one of the funniest sitcoms of a generation of British sitcoms that we don't really get anymore. Um, if you look at British comedy, okay, and look at the men and the women of British comedy, you've got the two Ronnies, Ronnie Baker, who is in this show, and Ronnie Corbett, who are probably the pinnacle of comedy duos in the UK. There will be an episode of the two Ronnies later on, further down the line. Can't wait to talk about that more. We'll get more into depth about those two later on. Morecambe and Wise, Tommy Cooper. Who else have you got? Also, and the show, obviously the shows as well. Open all hours, two Ronnies. Again, Morecambe and Wise. You've also got One Foot in the Grave, Keeping Up Appearances, Only Fools and Horses, On the Buses, and even into like the 90s where you've got like the Vicar of Dibley and the Dinner Ladies, and I'm probably missing a few. Have I said Keeping Up Appearances? I probably have, but I'm going to mention that as well because that's another one which is excellent. And did I say Blackadder? Probably Blackadder as well. Obviously Blackadder as well. And you think like of where they came from and like each one preceding the other. I kind of think I think this one was kind of one of the first TV sitcoms in the UK to be made. Because Open All Hours was just an idea when it first started. Because I think the first like time you get to see the character of Arkwright was in the 7 of 1 TV show where it was used as a skit, and obviously played by Ronnie Baker, and that they kind of see like the success of that skit, and then they realize, maybe this could be something. This could be like a show on its own. So they gave it a go. And obviously, when you go into the detail of it, Open All Hours was created and written by the wonderful Roy Clark for the BBC. It ran only 26 episodes within 4 seasons, which isn't considered a lot these days, but back then it was a lot. Back in the 70s and 80s, it was a lot. The show aired from 1976 all the way to 1985. The program was developed for TV pilot broadcast in Ronnie Baker's comedy anthology series 7 of 1 in 1973. And Open All Hours in 2004 was ranked 8th in Britain's best sitcom poll. And obviously in the later years, from us now modern times, you've had the Still Open All Hours TV show, which is great. Still has still had the same charm and effect that the original had. You just had a few characters change and develop over time. So the show takes place in a small grocer's shop in Balby, which is a suburb of Doncaster in South Yorkshire. Shout out to everyone who's in South Yorkshire. The shop owner, Arkwright, played by Ronnie Baker, is a middle-aged mister with a stammer and a knack for selling. He's also accompanied by his nephew, Grandville, who's played by the amazing David Jason, who is a beleaguered errand boy who blames his work schedule for a lackluster social life. Then you have a character across the road by the name of Nurse Gladys Emanuel, played by the wonderful Linda Barron, who, for all you kids kids shows, she was in a famous kids TV show with the dog Pippin. I can't remember what the fucking show was called. Somebody in the comments will tell me who it was, or will DM me what it is. But that show on CBBC as a kid was amazing. And Nurse Gladys Emanuel is obviously a nurse. She's a midwife. She looks after her elderly mother, and Arkwright pretty much spends most of the episodes trying to woo her to get her married, and try and just try and woo her basically. But she's more concerned with keeping him away in bound and making sure that Granville's welfare is all good as well. So they all have like a really good chemistry, fun dynamic with all three. I'm not too sure. I don't think. I don't think Only Fools and Horses came out at the time, and I'm pretty sure Roy Clark wrote most of the British sitcoms. Let's have a look now. Oh yeah, he did. So Roy Clark, for those of you who don't know, is a comedy writer, and he's a best known for creating sitcoms like Open All Hours, Still Open All Hours, Keeping Up Appearances, and Last of the Summer Wine, which are amazing shows. Just having a drink there. So you've got the series. You got four series or seasons. You guys across the pond, if you're listening, welcome. 26 episodes, and you have an array of cast members. Obviously, we discovered Baker, Jason, Barron. You've also got Stephanie Cole, Barbara Flynn, Kathy Staff as well, playing certain characters through the show. Some not at the start of the show. Some characters start, you see at the start of the series and then slowly dwindle away. Others come into it later. But the main three characters of the show are obviously Arkwright, Grandville, and Nurse Gladys Emanuel. Everyone play, the show is the show is great. It's lots of laughs. Jokes of the time as well. Some of the jokes you hear now from the show are, some of them a little bit, some of them are a bit funny, but it is what it is what it is. It's the comedy of the generation back then. And it's just comedy gold. It's what British comedy is all about, especially with Arkwright. Arkwright has that little stammer, which you've probably heard at the start of the show, where he has this like little, this little stammer, and it only comes out at like certain areas of the show where we give Ronnie Baker his comedy genius his credit, because he puts the stammer at certain parts, whether he's like perplexed or trying to woo somebody, or he's trying to get a certain word out and he can't say it, and he just stammers, trying to say that particular word and then immediately comes up with a different word to cover it, which is even fucking great. Granville's funny as well because he sometimes mimics Arkwright's stammer in certain areas, which is really, really funny. And he's more Granville is more concerned with like want to know who his father was, where his father come from, because in a sad turn, like Grandville is like the sad story in the show, where his mother had died when he was very young. He never knew his father. All he knew about his father was that he could be Hungarian. So he believes all his life he's like an Hungarian of Hungarian descent, and every time he asks about his father, Arkwright is quick to go, "Oh no, we don't talk about your father. We talk about your mother. We don't talk about your father." And there were a lot of like theory. I hate conspiracy theories, but like there were a lot of theories by the end of the series that that Arkwright was actually Granville's father, but it's not. I don't think that's the case because they consider they make it out that Arkwright is Granville's uncle who's taken him under his wing. There's Gladys Manuel. She's hilarious because she spends most of the show trying to bat off Arkwright. Arkwright's trying to woo her, and she's like, "No, get off." It's not so much playing hard to get. She is more of like, be more of a gentleman, and then if you're more of a gentleman to me, then I will like slowly come round. But the way Arkwright goes about things is just hilarious and funny, and she's like, "Oh, get over you daft fool," and it's great. It is a really, really good. I'm not trying to sell the show, but if you ever get the chance to see it, watch it. It is really, really fun show to talk about. Each episode is about 30 minutes long. Each episode is about 30 minutes long. 26 episodes in all 4 seasons. For what it is, you don't need it to be any more than that, otherwise the magic will go. So it's about 4 seasons. So 4 seasons, so you're probably looking about 6 to 7 episodes per season. I think the first season is 6 episodes. Because I've got them on DVD. I thought there was about 3 seasons, but when I picked up the DVD earlier on this week to rewatch some of the episodes, realized, oh wait, there's 4 seasons here. Some episodes are good. Some episodes are like, I'm not too sure. Some are damn right hilarious. Especially the ones where Arkwright's trying to like wheel and deal certain things. I think in the first episode he finds like these. He buys these like tins of food, but they've got no labels on them, so he doesn't know what's in them. So he just comedically, Granville asks him, what do you know? What are in these? And then Arkwright's like, I got a really good year for prepare for listening to what's in them. And he grabs a can, shakes it, he goes, peas and carrots. And later on they open like 2 of them up for dinner or lunch. One turns out to be a can of peaches, and the other turns out to be a can of custard. And then Arkwright's like, "Oh, there," and it starts eating it. It's absolutely hilarious. After just selling one off as well. And Arkwright is a bit of a sleazebag as well when it comes to selling things, because somebody will come around asking for a plaster, or he will give somebody like a drink or a chalk ice or whatever, because he offers them that, and then they take it, and then later on, as the skit finishes, he just turns around, right, 5p please, charges them afterwards, and the comedic timing of the characters he's charging are like, what you said, you just offered me, yeah, but I've got a business to run, 5p, please. And it's so funny. It's comedy, genius in this is super good. The other things that I find hilarious in the show as well, are probably the till. So the till is like a fifth character, a fourth character in a way, because Grandville is very scared to open it, and you think, why is he scared to open it? Is he jammed his finger in the till or whatnot? Who knows? So it turns out that the spring inside the till is fine when you open it, but when you close it, it just snaps shut really quickly. And through the series, it gets funnier and funnier. The first time, it's like, ooh, right, a little, jolt in, put the money in, and then it closes, like, ooh, all right. But later on, the till doesn't really give you a chance to put the money in, and every time, like, a little tin falls off or whatnot. It's just one of those, like, British comedy nuances, which makes it really, really, really fun to listen to. And then, obviously, as the episode ends, everything, 9 times out of 10, leads to disaster and not going Arkwright's way. So after every episode, then, Arkwright reflects on the day. Oh, excuse me, I just hit my microphone. Reflects on the day, what's happened and what's been going on, and then he does these like little monologues where he looks up at the sky, and then the episode ends, and then that's it. Then nice little music at the start, and then nice music at the end, and then on to the next one. When it comes to the show itself, like the inside of the shop is done, I think, in front of a live audience, and then anything exterior wise is done on the streets, and the audience view it on the screen, and then they react to it as when on the screen, and then they come back on stage. That's how they used to do it back in the day. So I think they used to record the outside stuff first, and then the studio stuff live in front of the studio audience, and then mash it all together. Really, really good. It's good. It's really, really good. Definitely go and check it out. The show, as I said at the start of the episode, the show aired March 23rd, 1976, and the last episode ended the show. That was aired on the 6th of October, 1985. So, pretty much an almost 10-year run of the show with very little episodes and very little seasons gives it credit. And when people here in the UK talk about British comedy sitcom shows, this one is pretty high up on the list. Probably the top 3, I would say. Probably Only Fools and Horses, Blackadder. And then, like, for me, probably My Family. I say Open All Hours for me is definitely in my top 10. Probably, like, number 6. No, number 5. I'd say number 5, because Keeping Up Appearances for me is number 4 as well. So, you got some funny ones here, I think. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. Yeah, I think that's it, really. Is that it? Yeah, that's it, really. This was going to be a short one because the show was short and whatnot. And I wasn't going to go through like the top 5 episodes because they're all great. I can't pick one without the other. But give the first episode a watch, and then and then carry on watching it. It's pretty awesome. Really, really good. Okay, so I'm gonna finish. Yeah, I think that's it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play one of the monologues for you, which is from the first episode of the show. So give us a listen, and we'll do the outro.
It's been a long day. That's a lot of sky to be a small shopkeeper under. I wonder if there's a planet up there somewhere with another Gladys Emmanuel on it, saying no repeatedly in a strange tongue. Hey, up, that's that Gloria he's got in the carrier. Well, passion on pedals. Squeals on wheels. At least he'll have something soft to fall on. Oh, Lord, let him increase in wisdom and experience without too much pain or having to come to me for more money.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much for listening to episode 14 of this podcast, where we were talking about open all hours. Thank you all for coming in. I do appreciate it. Remember, each episode of this podcast drops every Monday, and I promise you every Monday, because as I'm recording this now, it's Saturday, so I will be editing this episode and uploading it up straight away, ready for Monday. Be assured of that. If you don't know where we are already, we are on audio form only at the moment, so you can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music as well, and also Anchor.fm too. You can also find us on social media, where you can check us out on Instagram at the Multiverse of Entertainment Pod, and you can check us out on TikTok as well at Mo Podcast as well, where each week you will get a snippet of of a new episode coming out every week. So do check us out there, follow us there, give us a review as well on our episodes. I really want to know what you guys think. If you got any comments as well, I will read them out on the show. I've read a couple of comments out so far, so I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for getting me there to episode 14. On to next week's episode, which is episode 15, and we are diving into the world of movies again, and we are talking about a very famous Disney live-action show adapted from a cartoon. We are going to be talking about the Inspector Gadget, and my buddy Sassy Bear Clarence is going to be joining me for that episode. Cannot wait to talk about this with Sassy. That's going to be a really fun episode, so do not miss it. That's it from me, guys. Have a good one, stay nerdy, and enjoy. See you again.